From Courtland High School in Spotsylvania County, welcome to tonight's broadcast of high school football as the visiting Cyclones take on the Courtland Cougars in a late season Battlefield District matchup. Now, if you're looking behind me, we're not in Boise, Idaho. We're actually in Spotsylvania. It's Courtland. But Steve, I'm alluding to that blue field. It's very pretty out there. I understand it's been here about, 2 years?
Yeah.
So our first chance to look at it and call a game, but more importantly, for the Cyclones to adapt on a new turf, new surface for them, but to break a losing streak.
Yeah, they're coming in, Mark. They've been battered and beaten, and they've lost 3 straight, and that's unusual for an Eastern View football team. They're not accustomed to that, but they got to come here tonight and try to win and beat Courtland on the turf field. It's just right now, the coaches got to come up with something to, what do we play for? I know what they play for, to beat Courtland. Because you beat Courtland, you've done a good job.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's all the motivation you need. And then try to finish up next game with a win and try to go out on a 2-game winning streak. So that's what they're going to try to do tonight.
Of course, the other thing is always play for pride, too.
Yep.
Now, Courtland's a picture in contrast in the sense that rather than having a 3-game losing streak, they have a 3-game winning streak. And started against James Monroe of all teams after dropping the first 4, probably to a couple of teams where you're going, I'm not really sure why. But then they beat James Monroe, and they beat Spotsylvania, and then they beat Culpeper last week. It was terribly one-sided. And tonight they get Eastern View. It seems like Courtland, though, again, we've talked about it before, they tend to find their rhythm midway or later in the regular season.
Well, that's why, because what they do is they play they play a very tough non-district schedule. They play a lot of the Division 5 or Division 6 teams in the area, and that kind of gets them ready for their district competition. So they're battle-tested, and it proved it last week against Culpeper. Culpeper, I think, maybe gained 83 yards total offense for the whole game.
Yeah.
Eastern View is facing a similar fate from the offensive standpoint. They're going to have to be, play great football, take care of the football, and they're going to have to throw it a little bit, and they're going to keep Courtland's wing tee offense off the field.
Well, we got Culpeper got a heavy dose of E.J. Rogers last week. I think, if my memory is correct, he had like 4 first-half touchdowns or something. He ran roughshod. But in that wing tee, that ball is moving in different places,
right,
and you got players moving in different places. So you're talking about disciplined, playing your lane type football. Culpeper had no success with that tonight. But if you look at Eastern View's defensive players and their personnel, guys like Brett Clatterball, Braden Walker, and others, can they rise to that challenge tonight and play against that wing tee better?
I think they can. If they play smart football. And the biggest thing that's hurting Eastern View is turnovers and really not being able to and penalties. They come in opportune times. See, when they're driving the football, they're having difficulty scoring in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't go down the red zone 4 or 5 times a game and only come out with 2 field goals. That's not very good. So they've got to work on that and get better scoring in the red zone. Defensively, you've already said it, Mark. They got to find the football in the wing tee. Don't let Rogers run roughshod over them. So look for a lot of, loading the box maybe a little bit, similar to what Courtland did against Malachi Terrell for Culpeper.
Mm-hmm.
So look for them to do Courtland to really, hug the box a little bit. And then I think the all key tonight to the offense is going to be Hughesby. How he goes tonight will show us how Eastern View is going to go tonight.
Well, and the other thing, too, Steve, I wanted to say that, we have sore backs,
Mm-hmm.
you and I. We have a fence right now we're leaning against. It's very supportive. So we have something to lean against. Does the Eastern View have anything to lean against when it comes to salvaging the rest of the season? And is it fair to say that neither team here tonight will qualify for the postseason?
Right. Only the top 8 in Region 4B qualify. And Eastern View's 12th. I think Courtland's 11th. They would have to have some major, losses, and I don't see that coming.
Maybe a major upheaval?
Because we're at the edge of, we're at the end of the season. So, and there's some makeup games that got to be still played, but because of COVID issues. But I think basically they got to look for next year, and but to send your seniors out on a winning note, and that should be motivation. And play with pride, play with heart,
mm-hmm.
and go after it. It hasn't been the season that the new coach, Brian Lowry's wanted. But again, this is what we got to deal with, and you got to, like the old saying, you got to go to the dance who brought you.
That's right. Well, right now they're 4-4, which would make them 500 and win tonight. And a win next week. They're 6-4, or 5-5, whatever. I mean, that's you measure success sometimes in short increments when you're a new coach and you're starting your own program. But in any event, Steve, looking forward to calling the game with you tonight. And of course, whether a team goes to the postseason or not, you always enjoy the game at hand and what's in front of you. So let's bottom line it. If you're Courtland, you got your wing T. You know how well it executed its offense last week and the success it had. They just sort of keep it going against Eastern View tonight, but is there a particularly tough assignment for the Courtland defense against Eastern View?
Basically, I don't really see it, but I think that's why Hughesby needs to step up. If he can get and play balanced offense and maybe beat them with the pass, that'll take the pressure off Deuce
Good
Washington
evening, football fans, and welcome to Ken
Brown
Field at Robert Woods Memorial Stadium
I still think
for
tonight
tonight's
it's going to be
varsity
Hughesby. How
football
he goes,
contest between
Eastern
the
View
visitors,
and we're
the
about ready to be
Cyclones of
drowned
Eastern
out.
View High School,
So with that being
and your
said,
home team,
that's
the
our pregame show
Courtland
for tonight.
Cougars.
We'll take a break, come back for tonight's kickoff. Stay tuned. You're watching
The
Cyclones
administration and
football
staff of Courtland
on the
would like to
Culpeper
welcome
Media
the fans
Network.
and parents from Eastern.
This broadcast is brought to you by the following community sponsors.
Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. From shirts to banners and everything in between. Imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints, 317-1473. From wood-fired pizza to the freshest seafood and a world of taste in between. You'll find it all at Copperfish and Time Market. More than just a respected funeral home, Found & Sons supports youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530.
And welcome aboard. I'm Mark O'Connell alongside Steve Peacock, Johnny Krawczyk, up top behind the camera, and you're looking at a very attractive football field, Steve. It's blue, and I think we agree this is the second year of its existence.
Yep. And it looks like, for people familiar with Boise State University out there in Idaho, they play in a blue and orange field, and Courtland's got the blue turf field. It looks very good, and it'd be easy to pick up the numbers tonight. Let's say we have Brett Clatterbaugh as one of the EV captains, along with number 60. Who's number 60 for Eastern View? And that'd be
We have 60.
nope.
Are you sure we have a 60?
I thought he was 60 on the jersey, but
That's okay. We can revisit that. We've had some number changes throughout the season. And nothing really new about that. Jonathan Bales, nothing new about him. He'll tee it up for the Cyclones, who enter tonight's game, Steve, 4-4 overall. Courtland, interesting because they dropped their first 4 games, but they've rattled off 3 consecutive wins, including last week's pummeling of Culpeper, 46-0, and it was a wing tee showcase par excellence last week, headed by E.J. Rogers. I think had 4 first half touchdowns. They were just really executing to perfection last week with that wing tee. So tonight, Eastern View, its defense will be challenged like Culpeper's was last week against the wing tee, and let's see how well they have prepared for this. So here's the kickoff. We're underway. Rogers gets under it inside the 15-yard line. He's across the 20, and a nice open field tackle made by Brett Clatterbaugh on special teams.
That's a good play by Clatterbaugh. Mark, it's number 50 for Eastern View is the other captain, and that's Braden Walker.
Correct.
And then and Hughesby. So they were the captains, and one of the captains just made a heck of a special teams play on kickoff, Brett Clatterbaugh. I mean, Rogers wasn't even looking for him. He comes flying in there and was able to bring Rogers down. So now Eastern View is going to get a good look at the wing tee offense, and what they got to do is they got to be finding that football, especially the linebackers. You got to let your defensive line control the lanes and let your linebackers pursue to the ball, see if they can get it done.
Well, those linebackers include Clatterbaugh and Keegan Brown. Okay, now the quarterback for Portland is Liam Wojciechowski under center. E.J. Rogers back there. Kamari Jackson And number 6,
Yep.
Cole Bruce. We got a whistle in our first. There's number 6 right there, Cole Bruce. He played so well for Courtland last week, Steve, on defense, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Timeout on the field call.
And Courtland had a call. I know that doesn't help Courtland calling a timeout just to start the game, but they were not positioned right, lined up.
Well, our timeout sponsor is CFC Farm and Home Center. The service, knowledge, and products you need for your farm, home, pets, livestock, and equine since 1932. That's CFC Farm and Home Center. And so we're not live tonight, but when we are, our live sponsor is Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Yeah, I think you're right, Steve. I mean, it's really very uncommon for a team to call a timeout on its first play from scrimmage, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, right?
Yep.
And here's the running back getting some room across the 40-45. Eastern View territory. That was number 23, Amir Mateo. He had a big game last week for Courtland, and he picks up where he left off.
He sure did. And, and see what Eastern View's doing is they're keying on him. They're keying on Rogers, and so I look for Mateo to try a big game. But again, that was a big run, given up by the Cyclones on that play.
What, 33 yards?
And Mark, we do have a number 60 on the field. I just don't know who he is.
All right. Well, we'll see if we can figure that out when we get a break. Wojciechowski under center. And they got a fumble on the play. This is going to be recovered by Keegan Brown. And that was just a bad exchange, Steve, and running back never had it. And Eastern View gets the first turnover, and will put their offense onto the field here.
And that helps Eastern View. If they can win that turnover battle and get their offense back on the field right there, that was a poor exchange right there between quarterback and running back on that play. And now Eastern View is going to have the ball just outside midfield, Mark.
So this is a little bit in contrast to last week for Courtland, Steve, because I don't think they really had the turnovers, and they didn't have they seemed like they were pretty much in sync last week on offense. But, of course, they can adjust. All right, now, Eastern View goes on offense here. Courtland shows pressure. They fake it. They throw it out to Brett Clatterball. He makes a move, and he drags a tackler. He got past midfield out, it looks like the Courtland 47-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 4 yards, but Clatterball made the most of that, didn't, because he made that first defender miss.
Well, not only that, Mark, he was a backwards pass. If he didn't catch it, that was going to be trouble for Eastern View. It's good way he was able to reach back.
Perhaps not surprising that the Cyclones want to get Clatterball into the offensive mix. Why wouldn't you? Here's a running back with nowhere to go in the backfield. They stop him cold, and that was Deuce Washington, nowhere to go.
And see, that's where Hughesby's got to recognize that Courtland player was stunting on that play, broke through the line. He almost got the handoff himself. Hughesby needs to pull that back and then drop back and throw it. But right there, that was just a poor execution right there.
Lost a yard on the play. It's second down and 11. Opening minutes here this first quarter at Courtland High School. No score so far. Caden Hughesby, your quarterback. He's going to throw. And he's going near side. This one going up and catching it. Nicely done at the 25-yard line. He is number 23, Trevon Brock for Eastern View. What a big play and a first down.
Beautiful play. He went up there and got that ball. He high-pointed the ball as the receivers should do every time, and he was able to bring the ball down. Great play, good throw, and great catch. Eastern View's on the move.
Well, you mentioned that Caden Hughesby would have to have a good game tonight. And last time we saw him, his passing was off the mark some, but he comes out. Here's a bad snap, and Hughesby does a good job of pouncing on the football to avert a turnover.
Yeah, that snap was, I don't know if it was really bad. It just, I think Hughesby took his eye off at the last second. He was trying to cheat downfield and see where the defenders were. But, again, that's, you don't like to see that after a good play, and then you followed up with a bonehead play.
Well, he lost 8 yards and makes it second down and 18. Right. 9:15 to go here in the first quarter. Clock moving. We're scoreless so far. Low snap. Hughesby gets it. And here is a, what do you call that, hook and ladder? And this is going to go to number 23. That is Trevon Brock.
21.
Was it 21? Oh, you're right, Steve. Good eye. That's just saw Spencer. So they go to the bag of tricks early on. It pays dividends for Eastern View.
Well, we have to go to replay on that. I mean, let's just see it right here. It's just a little out pass by Hughesby, and then here comes number 21 for the Eastern View on the little hook and ladder play we've been talking about. They executed to perfection. Great play call.
33 yards. And now on for the point after. And the point after is good. 7-0 our score. Now I want to ask you, was that Jonathan Bales who made the kick, wearing jersey number 81?
Let's see. I can't
see what was Bales normally wears. I have him wearing 18.
Okay, I can't. Well, we're going to kick off. We'll see him out here.
Who made the lateral?
23 to 21.
All right. I think we may have a number switch there. I'm guessing Jonathan Bales has been the Eastern View kicker this season. He's always worn jersey number 18. But tonight's kicker is wearing number 81. And I assume that is Bales.
It's 18 backwards.
It's number backwards. 7-0. What do you think about that drive, Steve? Of course, Eastern View had good field position after they got the ball off the turnover, but it was that big play on 2nd and 11.
Yeah, and it sends a message to Courtland, we're here to play, and I think Eastern View is one of the keys. They have to get off early, and they did that very well and made Courtland pay for that turnover.
So assuming Jonathan Bales is wearing 81, he'll be kicking off. Here's this kid. E.J. Rogers would like to get under it if he can, and he does inside the 15-yard line. Here comes Rogers. Gets behind the block 30, 35, forced out of bounds near the 40-yard line. We'll check the spot. Well, you know, this broadcast is brought to you in part by Copperfish and Time Market. From wood-fired pizza to the freshest seafood and a world of taste in between, you'll find it all at Copperfish and Time Market.
And see now if Eastern View can force a little bit a shutout. Look like, was there a penalty on that play? No, he stepped out of bounds earlier.
It looks like he'd gotten close to the 40. Said he stepped out at the 37. So 8:58 to play. Clock stopped here. First quarter action. Cyclones up 7-0, and you see the Courtland offense back into the field for the second time here in the first quarter, and that means Liam Wojciechowski under center in the wing T offense. And they're going to give this one to.
Mateo.
See if you pick up. Is that Mateo? Yeah, you're right. Good call, Steve. Amir Mateo, who last week handled the kicking duties for the team, but he played well on offense. And so he gets the carry here. And he gets to the 40-yard line, call it 41, 2nd and 6 coming up.
And for our listening audience, viewing audience too, the reason we're broadcasting Thursday night is because Courtland and Chancellor got to play on a Tuesday, and they asked if we could move the game up to Friday. And of course, Eastern View and Culpeper playing Chancellor had no problem with it.
Oh, well, then I was misinformed. I thought we were broadcasting tonight to compete with Thursday night football.
Yeah, well, that's true.
And, of course, I'm just joking. Here's a penalty flag. I think it's our first of the game.
And it's a good game tonight, too, Arizona and
Green Bay. So Green Bay was the team that, I think they lose their first game. They won 5 straight under Aaron Rodgers, who had a few words to say to Chicago Bears fans. And what was it? Something to the effect, I own you. Yeah. Anyway, they don't think they like that very much.
And they're playing the undefeated Arizona Cardinals led by Kyler Murray.
But I think their star receiver's out tonight, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. So, but I think Devontae Edwards is out for Green Bay. Could be a great matchup, but I think I'd rather be here calling high school games.
Me too.
That's just me. All right, 46-yard line it is. Straight ahead goes the ball carrier and runs into a brick wall there. That was E.J. Rogers running into big number 63 of Caleb Quinn of Eastern View.
And Keegan Bradley in there too, number 44 in there too. Keegan Bradley, he's a golfer.
Was it 3rd and 2 now from the 45 for Courtland? You're looking at the Eastern View defense. Try to pick up some of those players for you when we can.
Number 3, he got one of the defense secondary.
Connor Weeks. Joshua Perez, number 7. All right, wing T coming back at you. Rogers looking for some running room. He's going to fight for it, but he's not going to overcome all those white jerseys that congregated for the play. Just so many to name. Number 45 gets a pat on the helmet from his teammates. And Steve, 45 for Eastern View. That is Brenson James. So we mentioned James and Weeks and Clatterball
and Brown and
DeMaio Hunter is in there. Number 20. No, I'm sorry, Josiah Spencer rather. Punting for Courtland is Rogers. This ball is going to be taken on a one-hopper at the 25-yard line. And what a nice tackle made. Number 8 on number 9. So the tackler was Josh Hayes, and the return man is Xavier Terrell. But he held on to it, and Eastern View's offense coming onto the field for the second time. They'll have reasonably good field position at the 36, it looks like. This broadcast brought to you in part by Cash Imprints. From shirts to banners and everything in between, imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints. 317-1473. All right, Caden Huseby and company back onto the field. Cyclones up 7-0. They'll start this drive from their own 35. Huseby in the gun, handing off. Washington, nowhere to go. He is stuck. Nice play made by
number 8,
Josh Hayes from his linebacker's position. There he is.
Yeah, he came in untouched, Mark, right there. It was just going to be an easy handoff, running around the right side, and whoever that number 8 just shot right through the gap, and he was able to knock him down for a loss.
And it brings up 2nd and 12. Huseby's going to throw. He's got a receiver out there, and he's tackled immediately. That was Connor Weeks on the short reception, and the tackle made by Amir Mateo.
Now puts Eastern View in a 3rd and long situation here, Mark. And this is what Courtland likes to do to you. They like to get you in these 3rd and longs and kind of force you to make a mistake. What Eastern View here is just got to make a sound, execute a play. It will probably be a pass play, but look for something, either a slant or something down a seam route or right down on the sideline. We'll see.
Now, Darian Cook, your receiver to the left. And they send 2 to the right. Here's 3rd down. Huseby over the middle, whistle to stop play. And that was a nice play, except it's not going to count. They had a Darian Cook on the slant. Let's check the call.
False start.
All right, that'll push him back 5 and make it 3rd and 16.
See, that's what I said. The slant will be there, and it was there, but now somebody jumped. And, we also said, too, at the beginning of the pregame, whoever executes the best and cuts down the penalties will win this football game.
All right, 3rd and 16 now. Cyclones at their own 30. 4:55 to go. Clock ticking. First quarter, 7-0. Cyclones. Huseby. Here comes the pressure. Not going to be able to get away with it. And they're going to sack him for a loss and bring up a 4th down. And the punting team.
See, then, now you got to ask your boys up front, what's going on, guys? The offensive line, that Courtland's just overpowering them. And Huseby's, he's got to count in his head 1, 2, 3 to get that ball off. And that was one of the tendencies he does have. He holds on the ball a little bit too long.
Well, he lost 8 yards, 4th and 24. Bales stands inside his 10-yard line. Here's the snap and the kick. Whistle once more.
No, guess what? Courtland's going to take the ball over right there because the punter put his knee on the ground. That's a down. In high school. You put your knee down, it's down. Now the punt didn't go anywhere, and now it's going to be defense. That was a crucial mistake right there.
That's a good call. I didn't get a chance to see that when it developed. I was waiting for the punt and expecting the return from Kawame Whitaker. He was expecting the same, and all of a sudden, wow, that's a blow.
It is a big blow because what he did is he bent down to pick up the snap, but his knee touched the ground. And he was in possession of the ball. That's a down ball.
All right, so now Courtland starts in striking range right here. They'll have it 1st and goal from the 10. Wojciechowski, E.J. Rogers. No, it isn't Rogers. It's Amir Mateo. Mateo finds his way into the end zone, and it is a Courtland touchdown with 4:02 to play the first quarter, and the Cougars Only needed one play to take advantage of that miscue.
It did, Mark, and it was a costly miscue by Eastern View. And I don't know who was doing the punting duties, but he made a bad mistake, and now that mistake cost Eastern View, and now the Cougars get on board.
Okay, so holding is Evan Donahue, kicking Josh Hayes, number 8. Hoping to tie it up. There's the hold and the kick. Kick is up and good. 7-7 our score with 4:02 to play here in the first quarter at Courtland High School. Any of this broadcast is brought to you in part by Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service, cornerstone of our community. 547-3673. And Fountain Sons, more than a respected funeral home. They support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Fountain Sons at 825-3530. Well, Steve, miscue, penalties, mistakes, like you say, cost you every time.
Sure does. It just came up and bit Eastern View right there. That was a bad mistake there, and Courtland's a good football team. They're going to make you pay.
You know, Mateo on that 10-yard run, it begins with selling the fake, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at the ball and I'm thinking Rogers is going to have it. I think some of the Cyclones thought he was going to have it. By the time you figure out Mateo's got it, he's already got a step on you.
Well, what was going on, too, and Eastern View was doing a run blitz, trying to, clog up the middle like Courtland was doing to us, and it didn't work. He got to the outside, and, like I said, you got to watch that football, find the football, and Eastern View didn't do a good job of finding the football.
Going to be returning it from the 20. There's DeMaio Hunter. Hunter does a good job of getting out to about the 39. 29-yard return by DeMaio Hunter. And again, Eastern View will have a good field position as in their offense back on the field. But the whole thing is not so much field position as much as it is ball control.
Yep, ball control and keeping the mistakes down. And right now, Eastern View, each team has made a mistake that's led to touchdowns by both teams. So what we got to do now is, gear up again, make sure you get good blocking at the point of attack.
All right, Eastern View, back on offense from the 39, Caden Huseby. Deuce Washington back there with him. Will he be the ball carrier? No, Huseby's going to throw and does. Going up for it and catching it. Making the play is Darian Cook for Eastern View. Looks like he's going to pick up about 6 yards on first down.
And that's what you want to do, Mark. That's just a little out pattern, comebacker to the quarterback and get about, you gain 6-7 yards on first down. It makes it easier to pick up those first downs when you're operating second and short.
Sure does. Caden Huseby gets the call. Brett Clatterball in the lineup. Connor Weeks, Darian Cook, receivers to the left. Trayvon Brock, top of your screen. Huseby going to throw over the middle. Incomplete. Looks like it was off the hands of an intended receiver. It may have been Clatterball, and I think we have the penalty flag come in.
You threw it into a crowd, though, too. That's the other thing.
Did you see a flag come in?
No.
Maybe I'm seeing things.
And say, it might be defensive holding against Courtland.
Here's the look at the man in the white hat. He's going to tell us something here.
Might be defensive holding.
Pass interference against Courtland. Yeah, I thought I saw a flag.
Well, that's one way. Another way to get the first down.
Yeah, it almost looked like either the receivers weren't on the same sheet of music with the quarterback, but if it was that way, it was because one of them was interfered with.
Yeah,
mark it all the way down to the
because he was thrown into a crowd, and both receivers are right next to each other, and that's not the way it's supposed to happen.
All right, so that moves the chains and the sticks. Now Eastern View has it 1st and 10 from the Courtland 39-yard line. Caden Huseby wants to throw it. He's got time, and he does. Incomplete, and the receiver had it, and that was number 23, Trayvon Brock, unable to keep focus and haul it in.
He had it in his hands, but I'll go back old school. If that ball hit in your hands, you need to catch it.
Yeah, that's what your coach is going to tell you.
Yeah.
You're responsible for catching it.
Yeah.
If it hits you in your hands, that's for sure.
If it hits your hands, don't be stone hands.
Got to have those soft receiver hands.
Yep.
Like the Fred Bolitnikov. So
Yep.
they,
They made they use Dove liquid. Remember that old Dove? Put your fingers in the Dove soap.
was it Dove or Palmolive?
Palmolive. That's
Yeah.
right.
You know you're soaking in it now. Remember that?
Yeah, that's right. Badge.
Madge. Yeah. Wow. Who remembers that? People our age and older, right? Used to be handing off to Washington. And Washington
15, Washington on the field.
going to get back close to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard on the play. Going to bring up 3rd and 9. Yeah.
One on the play.
Palmolive, Madge. Softens your hands. Yeah.
You're soaking it.
What
What?
do they say about receivers? Do they want them to have soft hands?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Well, now you got gloves. Everyone uses
I
the
know.
gloves.
Think about those old receivers that we're talking about, guys like Fred Bolitnikov.
Yeah.
Who wear gloves.
If they had gloves, I know. Glue hands. Now quarterbacks are easy throwing. Brady throws the gloves sometimes.
All right, from the Courtland 39. Here's Hughesby. Here comes some pressure. Runs away from it. Going to have to keep it, and they're going to knock him out of bounds near that down marker. And it's going to bring up 4th down. So here's a decision for the Cyclones, Steve. I mean, you're really not in field goal range. Would you punt it here or just go for it?
I'm just.
They're going to punt.
They're going to punt.
They've
They're
answered my question.
Joking on the play, 4th and
Yeah, because they want to give. They don't. They want to give Courtland. They don't want to give them good field position here.
All right, so Jonathan Bales back there at midfield.
And remember, Jonathan, don't put your knee on the ground. Don't bend down. You get if the snap's low, you can bend down to pick it up, but don't go to your knees to do it. Like a catcher would be blocking a baseball.
We just had an Eastern View player check in wearing jersey number 77. Do you have him? I do not.
Flag, timeout.
Timeout taken by Eastern View. Okay.
Got the phantom player.
Well, our timeout sponsor is CFC Farm and Home Center, the service, knowledge, and products you need for your farm, home, pets, livestock, and equine since 1932.
And Mark, now Easterview is lined up to punt the football. Let's see what they're going to do here.
All right. Well, thanks, Steve. Here is the punt. No knee touching the ground this time, is there?
Nope.
Let's check the bounce on it. It was going to bounce back this way. So DeMaio Hunter did the right thing of downing that football when he did. Oh, actually, number 21, Josiah Spencer, my mistake. DeMaio Hunter, Steve, we have DeMaio Hunter. What number is he wearing? Oh, he's wearing number 20. Okay, Josiah Spencer is number 21.
Yep.
All right, my mistake. Not a bad punt. It's going to pin Courtland inside its own 20-yard line. As they go back on offense here, we're tied up 7-all with 2:03 to play here in the first quarter.
And we're going to see if Easterview can really force a 3-and-out here and get the ball back in good field position. But they got to pay attention, find the football. Don't let Courtland get to the second level. Those linebackers got to be crashing and attacking that football.
Okay, Liam Wojciechowski runs the wing T. Coming this way, Mateo, 20. Tackled shy of the 25-yard line. And that was Clatterball and Keegan Brown combining for the tackle for Eastern View.
And, basically when you look at Cyclones on defense, they don't have anybody back. They're not playing with a deep safety. If I was Courtland, they'd be looking at it and saying, you might be able to throw the ball here. Look where Eastern View lines up on D.
Well, that run was good enough for a first down, 10 yards.
Yep.
24-yard line is the spot now for Courtland. They have it 1st and 10 from there.
Yep. See, they don't have anybody deep back. Everybody's up in that box.
Okay, Wojciechowski going to throw downfield. Had a receiver out there. He had a step on the defender. It was intended for Kawame Whitaker. Connor Weeks in coverage.
They were thinking the same thing I was thinking.
Well, you
throw
just
the ball.
called it. That's just it. Steve did. He called it.
I said,
What are they? Petey the prognosticator.
I mean, when you see that, I mean, if a quarterback, I'm seeing that, I know I got one-on-one, and then I'm going to go to my athletes and get speed and try to throw the football.
All right. 2nd and 10 from the 24. Minute 19 to play. First quarter action. We're tied up 7-all. William Wojciechowski is the quarterback for Courtland.
Look how many are up in the box. They're not even playing cover 2.
All right, here's Wojciechowski. Handoff over left tackle. E.J. Rogers breaking tackles. 35, and they stop him short of the 40. That was Xavier Terrell making the stop. Well, remember how well Rogers played last week.
Yep.
He's been a little quiet so far tonight, but that's because I think that they're, using him as a decoy when they're having the ball off to Amir Mateo.
That's right.
But Rogers got out to the 39, and he picked up 15 yards on a first down.
Yeah, now, see, you got to watch Rogers, and you got to be able to find that football and get a helmet on him.
Exactly.
I mean, the wing tee is not a difficult offense to defend. It is if you don't know where the football is because of all the fakes. In other words, you got to stay home, especially defensive linemen. They got to rush straight up.
And speaking of rushing, Courtland rushed to the line of scrimmage. I think they were behind the 8-ball thing. We get this playoff. We're going to have a delay of game warning instead. They call a timeout. Courtland does. With 46.6 seconds showing on this scoreboard clock here at Courtland High School. You're looking at the Eastern View defense there. Steve, Eastern View's crosstown rival Culpeper playing tonight against Chancellor.
Just right up the street. They're playing Chancellor tonight. I expect that. I'm hoping Culpeper comes out and gives a better showing. And I wouldn't be surprised tonight if Culpeper can beat Chancellor. And if they do, that's going to give them a little bit momentum coming into the playoffs. Because see, Culpeper's got a 2-week break after tonight until the first round of the playoffs.
Is that because they are finishing their season a week earlier than most teams?
Yeah, they got all their games in.
Right, they had their games in. So with that being said, this is a good time to remind our viewing audience that this is not Eastern View's last game of the season. They were going to finish the regular season next Friday at home against Millbrook.
Right. And then, but Eastern View is not going to be able to go to the playoffs, but Culpeper will. And it'll either be home to James Monroe or away at James Monroe. The way it's looking now.
Well, here is the pitch to Isaiah Spearman, and it fooled no one as he had 4 or 5 white jerseys there. And that Clatterball was one of them, and Kevin Berg was another. Line of scrimmage at 32, so he actually lost about 7 yards on the play. Well, the final 20 seconds are ticking off here at Courtland High School in the first quarter. They may get another playoff before this quarter expires. It sort of looks like they're going to be content not to.
Yeah, they're going to take the time and let the clock expire and begin the second quarter.
Final 5 seconds ticking off. All right, and now it's official. First quarter's in the books, and this one ends in a tie, 7-all. 3 more quarters to play. We'll take a break and come back for the second quarter right after this. You're watching Cyclones football on the Culpeper Media Network.
This broadcast is brought to you by the following community sponsors.
Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. From shirts to banners and everything in between. Imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints, 317-1473. From wood-fired pizza to the freshest seafood and a world of taste in between. You'll find it all at Copperfish and Time Market. More than just a respected funeral home, Found & Sons supports youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530.
Welcome back to our broadcast at Courtland High School and to the start of the second quarter. The Cougars on offense from their own 37, looking at 2nd and 12. E.J. Rogers runs for Courtland, tried the right side. Clatterball and company make the tackle. He had some help there from number 60. It's
the unknown.
Oh, we don't have a number 60?
No.
All right.
7 on the play, 3rd and 5.
All right. Well,
yeah, I think that might be Braden Walker, though. That's my.
But Braden Walker has been wearing
number 50.
Right. Okay.
But Mark, I don't know if you're looking to see what I'm seeing, but I just get this ominous feeling that Rogers is going to break a long one here.
Yeah, that's sort of, with him, it's not so much if he's going to, it's sort of like when is it going to happen. But we'll see. This is Rogers right here. Not this time, even though he did get close to first down yardage. It did go to Rogers.
You got to give Courtland's offensive line. They're so well disciplined and groomed in the wing T offense. You really don't have to get huge blocks. You just got to get in the way. And I've said that numerous times with the wing T. But right now with Rogers to take it inside the gut handoff up there and pick up about 8 yards, that's when your defensive line of Eastern View's got to get low and just clog that line up.
Well, it is actually 4th down and 1. They're going to line up to go for it here. Eastern View and Courtland, they bunch up. Here's the handoff. This one made a couple defenders miss, but then Eastern View comes up and closes quickly on Mateo. And let's see it's number 7 for Eastern View. I think Joshua Perez is going to be the fellow who stopped him shy of a first down.
He stoned him.
Really did.
I mean,
that was just a good open field, a solo tackle made to stop the running back from getting that first down.
And he had the first down, Mark. It looked like he was going to get it. And then, like I said, number 7 for Eastern View stoned him. Really good. Good tackle. Good play there by Eastern View.
And so Eastern View. So I think there was a problem with that down marker where they had no, they're right. They're right. Eastern View back on offense here. Here's Caden Hughesby. Got a receiver over the middle. That's Brock, number 23, down to the 30-yard line.
And we got a flag, I think. We got a hold against Eastern View. Coming back.
Eastern View holding is the call.
It looked like they're...
Yeah, those are the ones that hurt you.
Yep. Looks like number 55 might be the guilty culprit.
We have 55 as Carson Murray.
And so that really hurts right there. That was a good pass play, wide open and good yardage, moving downfield, just knocking on the door. Now this is going to set you back. Look how far back it is, Mark.
Well, the line of scrimmage is 36.
Yep.
And they've got to get to the Courtland 38 for a first down. There's Brock, makes a move. Straight ahead he goes, and he fights for a couple additional yards. Got across the 45 to the 47. Pick up of 11 yards on the play. It's going to bring up second down. And again, they've got to get to the Courtland 38. And the ball is at the Eastern View 47. So they need 15 yards.
And see, Mark, in that holding call, it's the spot, where it is. They mark it off from where the holding was. So the holding call was in deep in the offensive backfield, Eastern View. That's why it's so far to get to the first.
Caden Hughesby in the gun. Deuce Washington alongside him. They throw it out to Connor Weeks. Cannot get away from the defender who makes a nice tackle. It's number 32, Francis Roberts.
Now, what do you dial up here for third and 15? I can't see the.
Well, he actually he may have lost about 3 yards, brings up third and 18. Yeah, his ball is at 44. He did lose 3. He had no chance. I mean, good coverage out there. Was hit immediately after he caught it. Third and 18. Eastern View from its own 44. 7-7 our score. Hughesby doing a little heat, trying to run away from it. He's going to keep it. 40-45 midfield, and he gets into Courtland territory. Let's check where he goes out of bounds. Looks like it's going to be at the 44-yard line. Now you'll have 4th down and about 4. You got another flag?
We got
down?
2 of them, Mark. He's going to be holding.
Wow.
Against Eastern View. There's 2 flags came in, so it's going to nullify another good run by Hughesby. Another, that's what hurts you. That is exactly what hurts you.
As they mark this one off, we'll tell you this broadcast is brought to you in part by Copper Fish and Time Market. From wood-fired pizza to the freshest seafood and a world of taste in between. You'll find it all at Copper Fish and Time Market. Also by Cash Imprints, from shirts to banners and everything in between. Imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints. 317-1473. So, all the way back to the 25-yard line. It was at the 44. That's 19 yards, Steve.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to say that's going to make it about 3rd and 37, and it is. Scoreboard operator agrees with me. 3rd and 37. Are you kidding me? Do you need a big play? That's, I guess, the understatement of the game so far.
This is where you, again, try the hook and ladder again.
Well, and we should talk to our viewing audience about that when we can. For those who missed that play, it was the old hook and ladder in Hughesby. Falls forward past the 25 to about the 27. That's where they're going to mark it, and the punting team coming back on for Eastern View. Well, you know this broadcast brought to you in part by Fountain Sons, which is more than a respected funeral home. They support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Fountain Sons, 825-3530. All right. And dropping back deep for Courtland is Kawami Whitaker, standing about his 40-yard line. Bales on his 15.
Good execution here.
That's a good snap, good high kick. And this one is going to be down inside the Courtland 45-yard line. So outstanding field position for the Cougars as they send their offense back in the field. We're tied 7-7 with 7:41 to play here in this second quarter.
And Mark, the wind has got, it was with the Eastern View punter right there. We got it looks like a southeast breeze, and it's starting to, blow at a pretty good, 10, 15 miles an hour. So, teams got to be aware of that in their passing game and kicking game. But now you got Eastern View's got to ask your defense to step it up big again.
All right, Courtland sets up shop on its own 44. Plenty of time left in this second quarter. As I said, 7:41. And we're tied 7-all now. The quarterback, of course, is Liam Wojciechowski. And here is the running back, Kamari Jackson. And we'll check the spot. He got across midfield, it looks like. No, right at just shy of midfield at the 49. So he picked up 5 yards. 2nd and 5.
So now if you're Eastern View, what you got to do here is you just going to try to contain Courtland. Don't let them, come down methodically down the field, because that's what Courtland likes to do too. They like to control the clock with their ground game.
And speaking of ground game, or changing their offensive scheme perhaps with personnel, they bring in Keelan Perry, number 35, for the first time. This is going to be the handoff to Rogers. He's got nowhere to go because Brett Clatterball had him in his grasp and make sure he did not get away. And then coming over, the finishing touches from Kevin Berg. So no gain for Rogers. Going to bring up 3rd down and 5.
Mark, Clatterball continues to impress. I don't know about how you see it.
Absolutely.
But, as a freshman, what he's doing is just it's phenomenal, and he's all over the place. But he's the one guy that doesn't come off the field pretty much.
Yeah, and we talk about players who have a nose for the football, and but not only has that, he has the physical attributes that once he gets there, he's going to take care of business.
Yep.
Here's the pitch. This is to Rogers. Murphy Brown giving chase. He didn't get him, but his teammate did. Let's see who this was. This was Connor Weeks, who came up and made the tackle. Both players a little shaken up.
And it's going to be he's going to be short, Mark, and bring up 4th down.
4th and about a yard there.
And Coach J.C. Hall of the Courtland, he's a gambler. He likes to go on 4th down, especially if it's short. He believes in his offensive line.
Yeah, you got players back there like Rogers and, of course, Mateo.
Yep.
He's got Courtland's touchdown here tonight. We're in a lot of football here to play. All right, here is 4th and 1 for Courtland from the Eastern View 47. And they'll give it to Mateo, and he'll dive forward for the first down at the 45.
And, Mark, we were talking about Brett Clatterball, for a freshman. Most freshmen are either playing JV or playing on their freshman team. You don't see too many freshmen have big as roles as Clatterball has for Eastern View. The thing is that, he's going to get better every year, and the colleges are going to start really paying him a lot of attention. He's already, 6'1", 6'2", 215 pounds?
Sounds about right. When we think about freshmen who have started over the years, when you get a chance, see if you can think of someone that comes to mind. Wojciechowski under center. And this is Kamari Jackson. Into the waiting arms of Kevin Berg at the 41 or 42. Looks like it's going to be the 42.
Well, Diego Hunter comes to mind, and playing at Towson and Jeremy Bailey, the two freshmen that over the years I've seen that played starting roles.
How about this name?
Stephon Orange. You're right.
Yeah. 2nd and 7 now from the 42. E.J. Rogers, the ball carrier. Right tackle. They do a nice job. And this is one of the things, our coaches talk about their players having to tackle well. Coach Lowry lamented a couple weeks ago how his team didn't tackle well. Coach Ford has talked about that. But right now, with the exception of Mateo's run, they're doing a pretty good job of tackling.
They are, Mark, and they're it looks like it's going to be for a big gain, and then all of a sudden the linebackers are closing fast and quick. And that's what you need to do. You just go on your defensive line to run in that four-man front up there to occupy the line and let the linebackers clean it up.
3rd and 4 from the 39. Wojciechowski throwing downfield. This one batted away.
It might be an interference call here.
Yeah, in double coverage there. That was Spencer and DeMaio Hunter, and the intended receiver was Kawame Whitaker, who was shaken up on the play.
Is this going to be against Courtland? Or is it going to, it's got to be, I think.
Probably going to be against Eastview, don't you think?
Pass interference. I didn't see it, but, I mean, maybe a defensive hold. Let's see what they mark it off.
Do you think it was that's a pass interference?
Yep.
Yeah.
15 yards.
Do you think it was before the ball, or before they went up to try to catch the ball?
I think without seeing replay, that's what I'm thinking. So.
That pass interference call, he was pulling up 15 yards, and that's good for Courtland.
Sure is. Ball now at the Eastview 24-yard line. 3:26 to play, second quarter action. Wojciechowski here under center. He's going to hand off. Ball carrier, left tackle there. That's E.J. Rogers over left tackle, and making the tackle was number 45, Branson James for Eastern View. Picked up 5 yards, 2nd and 5. Clock ticking, about 3 minutes to play here in this second quarter. And Courtland looking to try to take the lead before the intermission. We're tied 7-all.
Yeah, they're just playing ball control football, Mark, and that's what they do.
All right. They bring it to this running back on this end around, so to speak. And he lowers his shoulder, Kamari Jackson.
That was a tough run right there by Jackson. Also tough hit, though, by Eastern View's number 3.
I think that more specifically, it was more like Kamari Jackson, maybe playing from that wing position, who came up as wing for the handoff. Kamari Jackson. And he got to the 19, or actually make that the 14, rather. He needed 5 yards. That's exactly what he picked up. It's a first down for Courtland. They have it 1st and 10 now at the Eastern View 14. Clock currently stopped at 2:43 to play. E.J. Rogers back there. E.J. Rogers will be the ball carrier. And again, they do a good job of gang tackling him. You had, again, Keegan Murphy-Brown in there, made the initial hit, and he had a couple teammates come over to his quick assistance.
Number 60, but I don't know his number on Eastern View, but he was in there too.
Looks like he got to the 12. He picked up 2, 2nd and 8.
And again, Eastern View's just got to come up with a tough defensive stance right here. They can get a first down before, they're in right now. Eastern View's got to stop Courtland. Courtland's in the red zone.
That's right. Courtland can get a first down at the 4-yard line. E.J. Rogers, there he goes, straight ahead. He was trying to get there, but Eastern View
See where his forward progress is.
Yeah, he did have some forward progress. You're right. He got inside that 10-yard line. Let's check the spot here. John, if you can, there you go. 5, 6, 7, 8-yard line. So he picked up 4, and that'll be 3rd and 4. From the 8. If they get to the 4, that's a new set of downs for Courtland. Checking into the game, number 35, Keelan Perry. Wojciechowski to E.J. Rogers. Watch Rogers. He's going to fight for a yardage. Let's see if he's gotten in.
No signal yet.
No signal yet. It's going to be close. It's going to be about the 1-yard line. And that's going to be, if he didn't get in, he certainly picked up a first down. They're going to have 1st and goal from just outside that goal line there. Really, it'll be 1st and goal from what they'll call the one. They don't need a yard to get it in.
More like a half yard.
Johnny, go left on the, there you go. There you go. See where that football is located? Just shy of that goal line. Yeah. And Courtland has 4 opportunities to try to get it in from there. Yeah. But we've got a whistle, and this is going to mean something. Looks like Eastern View's called a timeout. All right. Well, our timeout sponsor is CFC Farm and Home Center. The service, knowledge, and products you need for your farm, home, pets, livestock, and equine since 1932. And, of course, we talked about when we're live this year, our live sponsor is Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air at 718-7556. And this broadcast also brought to you in part by Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. 547-3673. All right, well, Steve, no penalty. That was a timeout called by Eastern View's defense, but they're really on their heels here because Courtland has it 1st and goal from, that ball is as close to the goal line as you can put it without breaking the barrier there.
You probably get it like a credit card between that
yeah, exactly.
and that nose. And so far.
Maybe an old matchbook, that we used to use with those 8-track tapes.
That's right.
When they were going wrong. 1st and goal here. All right. Here is Wojciechowski, hit hard, bounces off of it, and then darts his way into the end zone. It looked like they had a chance to stop him. They hit him hard enough, but he refused to go down. Well, touchdown, Courtland, 51.5 seconds to play in the 2nd quarter.
Mark, it didn't wrap him up. Right. That is the biggest, when I see high school football now and kids playing, when you hit somebody, you have to wrap your arms up to bring them down. They just ran into him. And Wojciechowski's a strong kid. He just bounced right off it.
It's like Josh Hayes on for the point after. 13-7 Courtland. The snap and the kick. Kick is good. 14-7 our score with less than a minute to play here in a second. Well, Steve, let's talk about this drive. Courtland started on its own 44. What do you feel like was the highlight of that drive?
The pass interference, basically. That gave them the momentum to get downfield, and then they executed it. See, penalties and misexecution and turnovers, they kill a football team. And right now, Eastern View's now down by a touchdown, extra point, because they didn't execute on 2 plays. One with the pass interference, and the second was at the goal line when they had Wojciechowski stop for about a three-yard loss. And instead of being, 1st and goal, it would have been 2nd from the goal from the 3, but they failed to wrap up, and Wojciechowski made him pay.
And that's something that you've talked about. It's nice to be able to deliver a big hit, but you can't assume the other guy's going to go down just because you hit him if you don't wrap him up.
Right. You got to go man on man, but you got to wrap him up and make sure when you hit him, that you put him down.
All right. Well, Courtland will kick off following that touchdown.
It feels weird, Mark. I keep thinking it's Friday night. It's Thursday night.
It sure is. Thursday night football here, high school style. Nice job of pouncing on this one is Trayvon Brock for Eastern View. And Eastern View has 50 seconds, and they're going to have good field position, really from close to their 40-yard line, depending on this. I think that's where they're marking it. So if you're Eastern View, you trail by 7. You won the coin toss, and you deferred. You're going to get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. What do you want to do here? Do you want to try to get something going, or do you say, no, you can't risk it? And
I know. I think they could try to go for it here. I mean, why not? I mean, they're down, and, you know, they still can win this ball game. They're not out of a winning stretch of the mean.
Right. And Eastern View has it on its own 38-yard line. Deuce Washington, they fake it to him. Then they throw it out to Connor Weeks. 40-45. Weeks fighting for extra yardage. He will have a first down for Eastern View as he got close to midfield. Had to get to the 49 for a first down, and he did. There he is, Connor Weeks, accepting the congratulations of his teammate there, Caden Huseby, because Connor Weeks fought for that yardage.
And Mark, pay attention. Number 2, E.J. Rogers for Courtland, came off that last series a little banged up. He's on the sidelines now, but he was, you know, trying to walk off slowly. Something with his leg. Keep an eye on that.
Here's Huseby. Throwing and through the hands of the intended receiver. It's too high for him. Intended for a Darian Cook. That does stop the clock with 21.6 seconds to play in the second quarter. And it's 14-7 in favor of the home team, Courtland Cougars.
And went through the receiver's hands. He was able to get a hand on it. Like I said, you get a hand on it, you can catch it. I hate to be that harsh, but that's just what I believe. You get a hand on it, you got to try to catch it.
So 2nd and 10 now. Cyclones from midfield. Connor Weeks going to come over here in the slot, right side. Caden Huseby looks for protection. He's got it. He throws downfield. He's got a receiver out there, and he overthrew him. That was Brock, who had more than a step against the defender.
See, that's where Mark does right there. Husby's got to learn a little bit more. He had still plenty of time in the pocket. And to wait, you know, if he waited one more, like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3, if he waited that 4th Mississippi, he would have had the receiver there for that pass, but he overthrew him. And I don't care how fast you are on the outside like that, but he ain't going to. It's not going to catch up to a 10-yard overthrow.
Do you think that Huseby simply threw it too quickly?
Yep, he did. I mean, he's got to learn that, you know, hold on to the ball a little bit more and read the coverage a little bit, because he had him wide open. He was behind.
3rd and 10 now from midfield. 15 seconds to play in the second quarter. Here's Huseby. Feels some pressure, throws it downfield. This one incomplete. And it looks like Brock was the intended receiver. And
the coach is going mad at the official thing. It was interference. But they just got their feet tangled. There was no push off or hands used. And the coach across the way is just talking to the official. Why isn't that not?
All right, so Steve, this is where you get into clock management. Each team has a timeout remaining. 8.5 seconds to play in the second quarter. Eastern View has it, but it's 4th and 10. They need at least 10 yards to move the sticks, but they don't have time maybe for 1 or 2 more plays.
Well, they got to pick up the first down here or something, or they're going to turn right over to Courtland.
That's true. All right, here's Huseby. Here comes the pressure. Steps up, gets away from it. Now he's going to run out of bounds, and it's going to be 0.9 seconds to play in the quarter. I don't think he got enough for a first down.
No, he didn't get. He was. I thought he was a lot closer than that. They're saying he was knocked out 5 yards before the stick.
Turns the ball over on downs, but now Courtland has time for 1 play.
Courtland's probably going to take a knee because they're up 14-7. Why? You know, you don't want to.
You don't throw the bomb.
No.
That's sort of a old family joke we had.
Yep.
Throw the bomb.
Throw the
Give them the bomb. 14-7. You think they'll take a knee? I think they will too.
Bombogenesis. Bombogenesis.
All right, so the Courtland offense comes back on the field for 1 play before this first half expires.
Now, they better not catch. Eastern View better not be napping here, though. See how they're going to line up. They're going to line up the victory.
And they don't take a knee. They go to Rogers. And nope, not Rogers. That was number 11, Isaiah Spearman. But whether it was Rogers or Spearman, he wasn't going anywhere. The Eastern View defense was ready. That's the last play of the quarter and the first half. With our score, Courtland 14, Eastern View 7. The 2 teams will go to their locker rooms for the break and the intermission. We'll take a break and come back when the third quarter begins, and Eastern View will be receiving that third quarter kickoff. All right, stay tuned. You're watching Cyclones football on the Culpeper Media Network.
This broadcast is brought to you by the following community sponsors:
Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. From shirts to banners and everything in between, imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints, 317-1473. From wood-fired pizza to the freshest seafood and a world of taste in between, you'll find it all at Copperfish and Time Market. More than just a respected funeral home, Found & Sons supports youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530.
Welcome back to our broadcast where halftime is just about over as we are at Courtland High School and the Courtland Cougars currently enjoying a 14-7 lead over Eastern View. But as we start the third quarter, the Cougars will be kicking off to the Cyclones. I'm Mark O'Connell alongside Steve Peacock and John Krawchuk behind the camera tonight from Courtland High School, and you're looking at that beautiful field. It's blue in color, white and gray, Courtland's colors and school colors. And it's I think we said it was its second year of existence, Steve.
Yep.
Well, before we have the kickoff, 14-7, we want to get your thoughts about that first half.
Well, one of the Eastern View assistant coaches said penalties, and that's hurting Eastern View. This game would be either tied or Eastern View might have gone ahead, but they had some untimely penalties, and that's what's hurt them.
All right, they keep it on the ground, and Brown there. Keegan Murphy Brown covers it. Nice job to smother it and keep possession for Eastern View. Yeah, that was one of the things we talked to one of the Eastern View's assistant coaches. And I said, what do you want to do differently this second half? He said, penalties.
Penalties.
In other words, eliminate the penalties.
Yep.
But 14-7, anybody's ball game, of course. And Courtland goes on defense and Eastern View on offense to start this one. Start the action here in the third. And Eastern View will have it at their 36. This is Deuce Washington. Tries that left side. Runs into formidable force there and push back after a short pickup, maybe a yard on the play. And in the tackle was Cole Bruce, number 6. And we talked about him having a good game last week defensively against Culpeper. So he did pick up a yard, did Washington, and 2nd and 9 from the 37.
Like I said, Eastern View just got to run their plays and execute.
Low snap. Huseby picks it up. He falls as he throws it. That's probably why that pass was underthrown and incomplete.
Yeah, he tripped over one of his linemen, and you're right, Mark. He didn't have momentum, just kind of like pushed it up there. Lucky it wasn't intercepted.
There he is, Caden Huseby. And number 1, Brett Clatterball, number 34.
Number 65 for Eastern View is
Grayson Yates, 55, Carson Murray. And by the way, 60 is actually Braden Walker tonight. All right, here's Huseby. He's going to throw, and he's got a receiver over the middle of the field, right at midfield, and that is Trayvon Brock, and a Cyclone first down.
Yep, that was a good play, good catch by Brock. Just he knew where the first down marker was, and he got a little bit right behind it and sat right down in that zone coverage that Courtland was running, and was able to make the catch, and now first down.
Courtland injured player, number 8, Josh Hayes, as he's being attended to. He'll have a replacement in number 20, Christian Olivella. So
might be a cramp.
Being assisted to the sidelines is Josh Hayes of Courtland, number 8. There he is. Josh Hayes.
Because the wind's blowing a little bit, but it's not overly cold, so cramp might not be out of the question what he's suffering from.
You know, some guys still wearing their shorts tonight. So not bitter. Another low snap. Huseby having a little trouble getting a handle on it, but he finally does in time to pounce on it and keep possession. We'll mark it at the 45. He lost 5 yards.
Yeah, but that's when you got to go to your center. I think it's Braden Walker say, hey, come on, get it up a little bit, get that snap up a little bit. So.
All right, they need to get to the Courtland 40 for a first down. So they need 15 yards. It's 2nd and 15. From the 45, 10:35 to go. Clock ticking here in the third quarter, 14-7 in favor of Courtland. Better snap this time for Hughesby, who throws over the middle field. He's got Clatterball breaking a tackle and bullying his way forward all the way down to the 15-yard line. Was Brett Clatterball. Tell me they're not going to bring it back.
Yeah, bringing it back, Mark. This is flag on the line. It's going to be a holding call.
It's a legal shift.
Legal shift.
That's not as
but it negated
severe, but it does take away the play.
To take away the big play. And what have I been saying all season? Get the ball to Brett Clatterball. Look how he did as a freshman. He bowled over 2 upperclassmen in the defensive secondary for Courtland. I mean, I thought he was going to break it and score, but now, again, a legal shift. It seems to come at the most inopportune times. That when East Street makes a big play, they get a call back because of a penalty.
But you can be, I suppose, the consolation is it wasn't a holding, it was a 5-yarder. So they move it back 5 yards to the 40, makes it 2nd and 20. So, but again, great play by Clatterball to really just power his way for big yardage after the catch. And certainly they'll try to go to him again, I'm sure. And here's a throw. This was thrown behind the intended receiver, Trayvon Brock. That'll bring up 3rd and 20.
And, they used Clatterball at the tight end position. He was wide open, Mark, right down the seam, right in there. And he got behind, and like I said, he made a move on one defender, and this was bull, running like a bull. He's strong like bull.
Strong like bull. Yeah. And only a freshman. Yeah. All right. There he is. He's lined up in there. Is Clatterball. Tight end. Hughesby being pressured. He gets it out to Connor Weeks. And Weeks stretching for an additional yard. Looks like they'll mark him out of bounds at the 48 of Courtland.
We got an injured Cyclone player on the field. Can't really see who it is.
12 yards on the pass.
It's going to bring up, he picked up 12 yards. It's going to bring up 4th down at about 8. We do have an injured player. Let's see who this is, Steve. Is it 65?
65.
65 on the roster is Grayson Yates.
I wonder if it's a cramp.
Well, let's give John a break and take a break as they attend to our injured player. We'll come back when the action resumes. Keep it right here on the Culpeper Media Network.
This broadcast is brought to you by the following community sponsors.
Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Battlefield Automotive, 547-3673. Cash Imprints, 317-1473. The Copperfish and Time Market, 825-1011. Found & Sons, 825-3530.
Welcome back to our broadcast. The player who was shaken up was
he might have turned an ankle, looks like.
Grayson Yates. And I believe coming in for him.
Number 77.
77 came in?
He's called up from JV.
Jaquan. All right, at the Courtland 48, it is 4th and 8, and the Cyclones line up to go for it. I guess the question is, will they? Certainly looks like they're going to. Caden Hughesby, low snap again. He picks it up. Here comes the pressure. Hughesby going to throw on the run. Got a receiver out there, incomplete. It was intended for Connor Weeks. He was out of bounds, and he had pressure being applied to him from the cover man there. That was number 23,
and that was
Amir Mateo.
That was poor execution there by the bad snap. And now, was there another flag on the play?
Here it comes. Illegal shift.
Culver, they're declining.
Obviously, he declined it there. Turnover on downs to Courtland. So, we talked about it before we started here on the air. Third quarter. What do you want to do differently in the second half? Cut out the penalties.
And look what penalties have done. Taken away a big play for first down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Brett Clatterbaugh now this. So, but the other two things too, Mark, were poor snaps.
Right. He used to be struggling there to pick up the snaps. Pick up the ball and the snaps when they were so low. And that gave the Courtland defenders a jump on him.
Yep.
Here is the runner. Left side is off that left tackle, Kamari Jackson. Jackson picks up positive yardage for Courtland.
There's a flag in this one. This might be coming back against Courtland with a push. Let me see.
Although the Courtland players there, it looked like they were celebrating. But you're right, it is going to work against Courtland. As they mark this one off, we'll tell you that this broadcast is brought to you in part by Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. 547-3673. Also by Cash Imprints, from church to banners and everything in between. Imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints. 317-1473. Ball now at the 45. That's where it'll be 1st and 13 for the Cougars. They're up 14-7 here in the third quarter with 9 minutes to play. Liam Wojciechowski, the quarterback. E.J. Rogers, the ball carrier. Tried that right side. Clatterball, Brown, and number 60, Braden Walker, combined for the Eastern View tackle. Up to the 48, 2nd down and 10.
2nd and 10 for the Cougars, balls in there 48.
And we'll see what Eastern View's going to be able to do here, Mark. They've got to force Courtland here to punt. I really do. And
2nd and 10. Wojciechowski going to throw and does. This one's going to be picked off. And it's going to be picked up by Trayvon Brock, who was defending against Kamari Jackson. And he was out there in tight coverage.
Yeah, but I think we're going to have a flag. There's going to be a flag on the play, and it's going to go against roughing the passer against Eastern View.
And see, I didn't see that because I was watching the flow of the ball. Were you able to pick up what happened there?
7 got racked to the quarterback, Wojciechowski, after he threw it, and what happened was he got knocked to the ground pretty viciously, and right in front of the official, guess what? Roughing the passer.
You take away the interception.
Take away the interception and mark off a 15-yard penalty, 1st down Courtland.
All right, they're going to start marking it off from the 46, I suppose. That was or 48 rather, that was the line of scrimmage. It is. Roughing the passer. And all the way down to the Eastern View 37-yard line.
I mean, they're snake bit, Mark. I mean, every big play that Eastern View's had has been called back because of penalty.
You're exactly right. So Courtland now, new set of downs from the Eastern View 37 they got. And this is Mateo. Takes a hard hit after making that first defender miss. And I believe it was looks like it was Branson James with the leather to him.
I'm saying no gain, Mark.
Mm-hmm. That's right. The line of scrimmage was 37. That's what it remains. 7:40, clock ticking, third quarter. 14-7 Cougars here at Courtland High School.
Yeah, we'll see what Eastern View can see if they can get a turnover and stop this offense.
Wojciechowski, he's going to throw it, airs it out. Good coverage out there. No contact, no flag. Intended receiver, Kawami Whitaker.
Yeah, when you're not used to throwing the deep ball like Wojciechowski isn't, you're going to, you saw the man-on-man coverage, but again, a lot of these quarterbacks in high school aren't really good throwers. They're good at managing the game and throwing a short pass and running it. But when it comes to the timing on long pass plays, that takes a lot of timing and a lot of work and practice together.
Cole Bruce checks into the lineup for the Cougars on offense. He's been a mainstay on defense, but he checks in now as a wide receiver. Here he is, number 6. 3rd and 10 for the Cougars. Wojciechowski, quick handoff. This is Rogers going to work down to the 20-yard line. 17 yards and a first down for Courtland.
And Mark, he looked like he was burst from a missile, boom, right up that gut, and
Yes,
he was gone.
All the way down to the 20-yard line, a first down. This broadcast brought to you in part by Found & Sons, which is more than a respected funeral home. They support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530. 6:55, clock ticking, third quarter. 14-7 in favor of Courtland. But they've got the ball now officially in the red zone. It's marked at the 20-yard line. Liam Wojciechowski is the quarterback. E.J. Rogers, the ball carry, got away from Walker, and he got inside that 15-yard line. Ball is loose, it looks like. No, they say it isn't. All right, it looked like it was there at first.
It was fumble.
It was, but they recovered their own fumble. Okay. Got the ball down now at the 14-yard line, so on that fumble, they pick up 6 yards. Let's call it the 13. Second down. And 3.
See if Eastern View can cause a turnover here.
New players checking in. Dom Morello. And, of course, we mentioned earlier in the game, Keelan Terry, number 35. But E.J. Rogers, you expect may get the ball here. And he does. Here's the pitch to Rogers. Rogers, hard running down to the 6. Connor Weeks was hanging on. And he had some help there from Joshua Perez.
And I thought Clatterbow was going to get that handoff. He saw the play. He was trying to try. I thought he tried to step in between the toss, but he didn't. And then Courtland was able to pick up good yardage with that.
Sure did. Down to the 7-yard line where it's first and goal for the Cougars.
7-yard line.
So, Eastern View right here, I think they need to stop them, Mark. If Courtland goes up 21-7, they're going to be tough to beat.
That's true. E.J. Rogers back there. He gets the ball. There goes Rogers going to work, spinning his way forward and lunging and diving for that first, or goal line rather, and I believe they're going to mark him just shy.
I mean, those officials are looking at it, but I mean, how close can you get? I mean,
without scoring?
Without scoring.
Inches. See, this is that. Look at the ball there.
Yeah.
Now, this is not quite as close as it was previously when Wojciechowski had the touchdown, but it's like you could, almost close enough where you can get a credit card in between the ball and that goal line.
Right now, they got to, Eastern View's got to clog that middle up because I don't think you will see Courtland run to the outside.
They're going to go to Rogers, and why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You need about 6 inches, and he got that. Touchdown, Courtland. It's E.J. Rogers. That'll make it 20-7 in favor of the Cougars with 4:35 to play here in the third.
Now, they're going to go for 2.
Sort of looks that way. Well, maybe not.
Maybe not.
No, here they come. So you've got Evan Donahue, the holder, and Josh Hayes had kicked it earlier, but he was shaken up. So they're going to let Amir Mateo try his luck with the foot. His kick is up and good. All right, 21-7 in favor of the Cougars. 4:35 to play here in the third quarter. Well, this broadcast is brought to you in part by Copperfish and Time Market. From wood-fired pizza to the freshest seafood and a world of taste in between. You'll find it all at Copperfish and Time Market. And, of course, our live sponsor this year when we are live is Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air at 718-7556. Stephen, I think you have a trivia question for me tonight.
Yep.
Although I will say you never just set the record straight about Ed Marinero.
Yes, I have to tell our viewing audience I made a mistake last week of who was the last Ivy Leaguer to win the Heisman Trophy, and I said Ed Marinero. He finished second to Pat
Sullivan
of Auburn.
Right, 71.
Nice correction.
And that was controversial way back when. I was about 14.
Yep.
Because I remember that because I think Marinero had a great year. But I think if you were playing for Cornell,
Yeah, versus an SEC power.
A Division I like SEC power, like say Auburn, yeah, you're probably not going to get the nod, right?
True.
All right. Short kick. Eastern View fills it at the 45. So just what I'm trying to tell a viewing audience is that I was not stumped. However, I'm easily stumped, so Steve may get me stumped here tonight. You have a trivia question?
Yep. He just passed away recently, but he was an all-pro linebacker, played in the 60s, early 70s, middle linebacker, outside linebacker, and sometimes in the middle for the Detroit Lions. Who is he?
Oh.
He wore number 53.
Was it, let's see, oh, what a snap here. Way over the head of Caden Huseby, all the way back to 25. So, Steve, those woes continue. We talked about Caden Huseby having trouble with the ball on the ground, but now they snap it over his head, and that costs him all the way back to the 25-yard line. I'm going to guess Mike Lucci.
You're right.
Well, thank you. Well, I was a Lions fan. But you gave me a lot of hints. You said the time he played, the number he wore. If you'd said 55, it would have been Wayne Walker.
Right.
But Mike Lucci played in the middle, didn't he? Back in those 4-3 sets.
Yep.
Yeah. Caden Huseby going to throw. Incomplete. Steve, what about the lost yardage on that bad snap?
I mean, that's just what kills you. That's what, to me, I just don't think Eastern View's heads are in the game right now. It's like, how do you first off, you're snapping on the ground, and they're having trouble picking up, and then next snap, it goes sailing over the head. And I'll be going to your center, and who's playing center right now?
Well, I'm not really certain, but with the ball
63.
let's check the spot here. 30, 25, ball at the 25. They've got to get to the Courtland 46-yard line for a first down. So I think it's 2nd and 25. And this one going nowhere, and Caden Huseby going to take a tough tackle. Well, that's got to hurt a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, he did. He didn't even see number 10 coming in there. Now, brings on the punt team for Eastern View, but again, shooting themselves in the foot, Mark. They just, every big play, something happens, and they've just got to.
Well, you think about what might have been with Brett Clatterball and that big gainer where he was just running over people and bruising his way forward for a big gainer. He brought it back up the illegal shift, the 5-yard penalty. Here's the kick by Bales. This one not going to be, or is it going to be fielded? Well, he better be careful with it. He does pick it up. He's immediately tackled. That was the return man there, Kawame Whitaker. I thought he took a chance, but he gambled and got away with it at time.
Well, he did. He wanted to gamble. He won the gamble because he didn't want to keep rolling down the field, and he gave his Courtland good field position, but that was he almost had made a major mistake. Now, what do you tell Eastern View? You got to say you got to play tough defensively. It's what's going on is they're just having the offense right now is inept. They just haven't been able to generate anything.
But I was going back to the Clatterball thing. If you didn't bring that back and you have some momentum going your way, things are different. But not only the penalties at the crucial times, but the bad snaps have really hurt them.
Yep.
And so now Courtland goes back on offense from its own 47-yard line. And they're up 21-7. And they're going to hand it to Mateo there. Mateo goes to the outside.
And it's going to be coming back. It's going to be a block in the back.
Mateo had the game's first touchdown.
Yeah, it's a hold against Courtland. Saw that from up here.
But Courtland hasn't been penalized as much, have they?
No.
So the trivia tonight was Mike Lucci.
Yep. I read that in the paper the other day.
So Mike Lucci did die.
Yep, 81 years old.
Who was it that just turned 73? You know who it was? Dave Callens.
Wow.
Boston Celtics great at center.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You know, they talk about all-time great centers. He doesn't get mentioned a lot, but if you look at the numbers that he had and all these, he was up there. And look at the guys he played. He played against Jabbar, Lanier,
Asking him, they'll say,
Wes Unseld.
They'll tell you one of the toughest players to play against was
Dave Callens, yeah. Just turned 73.
But before, give you another trivia question, see if you know it.
Mm-hmm. Here's the handoff. This is, you go back to Amir Mateo. This time he tries it up the middle. He got across the 40, out to the 42. He picked up 7 yards. All right, go ahead, Steve. This is the sort of thing we
What
like to throw
what
out.
ABA team did Dave Cowens play for before he joined Celtics?
Well, I'm not going to get that one because I don't remember him playing in the ABA.
He did.
So I need to guess. How about the Pittsburgh Pipers?
Nope.
Who?
Kentucky Colonels.
Oh, like Dan Issel?
Yeah.
I know Dan Issel played.
Oh, it's Dan Issel. I'm thinking.
Was it Dan Issel? Okay. So I'm still not stumped.
Nope.
Dan Issel. Wow, that's going back. And I think he played college ball at Kentucky, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And he played for Kentucky Colonels. And then he ended up playing for the Denver Nuggets, didn't
Yep,
he?
you're right.
Yeah. He had they had that Dan Issel was good. When he played for Denver, remember how good offensively they were? Their defense wasn't good.
Yeah.
But they had Issel, Alex English, and Kiki Vandeweghe, scoring machines. They could score about 150 a game. They give up about 155. Yeah. All right, midfield is the mark. It's 3rd and 7 for the Cougars, and they're up 21-7. So if we were calling a college or professional game, we would say, well, you got a minute 25 left, third quarter, plenty of football to play. But it's not really that way in high school when the complexion is what it is here with this kind of time. And you look at the momentum and the mistakes that Eastern View's making, the clock's really not going to be their friend.
No.
Amir Mateo gets behind some blockers and makes the most of it along the far sidelines. He'll pick up first down yardage for Courtland. I mean, technically you still got a quarter and a minute and 9 to play, but the way things are going right now, Eastern View has dug itself a hole. And if they don't clean up the penalties and those snaps on the center, they can't come back against Courtland.
No, and the Eastern View hasn't shown me all season that they're a comeback team. So
Right.
So now it's a first down, and again, Courtland likes to control the clock, and they'll control the clock with this offense.
27 yards on the play by Mateo. 1st and 10, Courtland. Clock running under a minute now to play here in the third quarter, and the ball is marked at the 33. That was 17 yards rather than 27. Wojciechowski going to hand it off. Here's the ball carrier. This is E.J. Rogers. Stiff arms a defender, breaks the tackle, got inside the 15-yard line and would have gone for more, but Brett Clutterball makes the tackle for Eastern View.
And I know Clutterball is frustrated because number 7 for Eastern View, he didn't even try to tag. He got stiff arm, but just gave up. I mean, that's the problem they've got right now. It's some players aren't making the tackle when they should be making them right there.
And he picked up 16 yards. Good E.J. Rogers on first down. And it was a good stiff arm by Rogers, wasn't it?
Yep, it was. But, you got to – but look at Clatterball's athleticism coming from the other side of the field to make that tackle. Touchdown-saving tackle.
Absolutely. All right, 1st and 10 Cougars from the 17. Wojciechowski looks like he's going to be hit from his blind side. Before that happened, Clatterball drops him for a sack.
Wojciechowski in the backfield.
And now Clatterball holding his left leg. And that's we hear the siren that signals the end of the third quarter. All right, we'll take a break. Into the third, it is Courtland 21, Eastern View 7. We'll take a break and come back for the fourth right after this.
This broadcast is brought to you by the following community sponsors.
Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. From shirts to banners and everything in between. Imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints, 317-1473. From wood-fired pizza to the freshest seafood and a world of taste in between. You'll find it all at Copperfish and Time Market. More than just a respected funeral home, Found & Sons supports youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530.
Welcome back to our broadcast and the start of the fourth quarter. The injured player was Brett Clatterball. We'll get to that in just a moment. Right now, Courtland has it. And E.J. Rogers had it and lost it, and Eastern View may have recovered it.
Let's see what he looks like he got the ball back.
Let's see who it was.
Yeah, it is.
It's number 21, Josiah Spencer.
Yep.
For Eastern View. Gets the fumble. And that's a huge fumble because Courtland was driving, Steve. They started this drive from their own 47.
Yep.
They had it down to the Eastern View 17-yard line. When the third quarter expired, they came back with momentum, and then E.J. Rogers, who had that 16-yard run to close out that third quarter, ended up fumbling it and giving it back to Eastern View.
You're right.
Eastern View gets the ball first and 10 on their own 10-yard line.
So now see what Eastern View, can they get a quick strike here?
All right. So Caden Hughesby, Deuce Washington back there with him. Hughesby throwing, got a receiver, Connor Weeks to the outside. Got across the 15, out to about the 17, 7 yards, 2nd and 3.
Gain of 7 on the pass, 2nd and 3 for the Cyclones, falls on their own 17.
All right, so Caden Hughesby again has Deuce Washington back there on 2nd and 3. Hughesby gets it down. Here's the slant pattern. This one's caught by a Darian Cook, and that's enough for an Eastern View first down.
And see, when you're a defender on that play, you're not supposed to allow the receiver to cross your face like that. But Darian Cook did a great job there.
Darian Cook.
Yep.
Cook. Number 5.
Balls on their own 27-yard line.
And they're looking at Brett Clatterbaugh.
Yeah, we were talking about him. He was injured at the end of the third quarter.
He's running on the sideline right now. Looks like.
If he's running along the sideline, that's a very good sign. All right, here's Hughesby. Being flushed out of the pocket. Decides to run it. Goes along the far sidelines out near the 35, 36-yard line. Picked up 7 yards.
But see, Eastern View, they have to score quick, Mark. They can't get into a, grinded out 9-10 play drive because they're down 2 touchdowns and it's already in the fourth quarter. So they've got to find some quick strike ability that they haven't really shown all year. So we'll see.
Right, 2nd and 3 now for Hughesby and company. You're right, talking clock management, but he got out of bounds and stopped the clock. Fakes it to Washington, now he throws. He's got a receiver out there. Looks like it hit him in the chest and bounced off. And again, Darian Cook was the intended receiver.
But if it would have caught, it might have been tough to get it in bounds.
Right.
We need 1 foot.
Right.
High school and college, but it was on that sideline. But one thing I've noticed, Mark, when I'm looking across at Eastern View, they don't have the number of players this year as they've had in past years.
That is true. Who was the team we were talking about with not that many players, but they were substituting deep? And was it Spotsylvania?
Well, I didn't do that game this year.
Oh, that was with Jeff? That was the game Jeff did? Okay. On the 36-yard line, 2nd and 10. Hughesby, good footwork back there to elude the pressure and the defender, and he got out close to the 39. So he picked up 3 yards. And that's going to be real close to a Cyclone first. And it is. It is a first down. They'll move the sticks. But again, talking about time management, clock's a factor. You've got to have 2 scores to tie this game. 21-7 our score in favor of the Cougars. 10:15, clock ticking, fourth quarter. New set of downs for the Cyclones. They'll have it now 1st and 10 from their own 39. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Hughesby throwing short. That looks like Connor Weeks, and it is. Weeks fumbles. The ball's going to be out of bounds, but they're going to say he was down by contact at the 45-yard line. Give him 6 yards. I got to give Connor Weeks a lot of credit. He really gives it that second and third effort, doesn't he?
He does. That was a good play and good catch. And unfortunately, it was he was on the ground before that. When the ball came out.
All right, 2nd down and 3.
So Eastern View's going to the hurry-up offense, but they know they've got to.
All right, here's Hughesby. He's got a receiver. It is Brock. And a first down out to the 40 of Courtland. That's a pickup of 14 yards and another Eastern View first down.
Where's that offense been all the game? I mean, now they're sitting there hitting all cylinders right now.
Well, they found some rhythm with this fast-moving offense now. The no-huddle, get things done quickly, no nonsense. Keep pushing forward. It's working.
And simple plays, too. They don't require a lot of motion and formations. And plus, he's doing a good job. He's taking what Courtland's giving him.
That's right. Two receivers to the left and two to the right. He gets the block from Washington, does Hughesby. He's got Clatterball out there who breaks the tackle that he's wrestled down near the 25-yard line.
He showed his.
I think Clatterball must be okay from that.
I think he is.
Yeah. Out to the 25. That's a pickup of 16 yards and yet another Eastern View first down. But like you said, Steve, they got to make this count. They don't have any more time for mistakes.
They're pretty much, you know, they're more. I think they're more effective with this hurry-up offensive running.
All right, from the 25, 1st and 10, Cyclones. Hughesby going to run this one. He's at the 20, 15, and got down to the 13, 12 yards, and an Eastern View first down. And on the tackle there was Dom Morello for Courtland.
Yeah, so it should be not quite. They can the Cyclones can get a first down without going
right
a touchdown. So
because the ball's at the 14, if they get to the 4, they get a new set of downs. But again, like you said, they want to score quickly. You know.
Yeah, they don't want that clock keeping the run.
Each team, or both teams, have all 3 of their timeouts here in the half. Here's Hughesby. He's going to throw it, and it's going to be, is that Brown? Yeah, number 44, that's Keegan Murphy Brown, makes the catch for the Cyclones. And they'll mark it at the 6-yard line, pickup of 8 yards.
Yeah, first time we called his name on
offense. Yeah, offensively, right.
And see, they're throwing it. He was lined up inside, that tight end position. Again, when Hughesby rolls out, that's when he's been able to find the lanes for his receivers.
Right. Right now, so 2nd and 2 now from the 6. Caden Hughesby. Here comes the pressure. Runs away from it. Looking for a receiver. Going to have to keep it. He'll get first down yardage and then some. And they're going to say he's in from 6 yards out.
And it's a Cyclone touchdown.
Hughesby.
Flag on the play, though.
All right, let's check the call. Here comes. Uh-oh. That's against the Eastern View.
Legal shift.
That means no touchdown.
No touchdown.
All right. You have to save your vocal cords for later then.
Yep.
It was 2nd down and 2 from the 6. I think they'll mark it off to the 11, which they do.
And see, all that is that legal shift is someone's moving forward right before the ball snapped. If they're in motion, they can't lean their head towards the line of scrimmage. They got to be running lateral, and they got to be set.
No, I'm going to call it the 12. But it's 2nd down and 7 from the 12. Or 2nd down and 8, rather.
Yep.
They've got to get to the 4-yard line for a first down. Here's Hughesby. He's got Connor Weeks, tries to make the move. Ball gets loose, and it's going to go out of bounds at about the 3-yard line. Talking about surviving a scare there.
Jeez.
And
they're not giving it to Courtland because he didn't have possession.
He didn't get possession. Went out of bounds. Yeah. Connor, talking about yards after the catch.
Yeah, but see, you can't really advance it by throwing it forward like that.
But I don't think he threw it. I think he fumbled it. It was slung out of his hands.
Yeah.
All right, they get it down to the 4. That should be enough for a first down, and it is. So
1st and goal.
Let's talk about getting a break. First and goal now from the 4-yard line for Eastern View. Let's see what the call is. I think the official's talking to the Courtland head coach here.
Yeah. He's saying, how can he advance that ball?
Well, you don't think he did that on purpose, do you?
No, I don't know. I'm not saying that.
I mean, that would be a really risky play to do. I think he was stretching for more yards. The ball got away from him. This one gets away from Washington, and this one's going to be recovered by Courtland. Number 32, Francis Roberts. Wow, talk about squandering an excellent opportunity.
Jeez. When it rains, it pours, doesn't it? I mean, Eastern View knocking on the door, and then they fumble. First it started with that legal motion penalty, and then that looked like they were, they fumbled it, but it went out of bounds at 3. Thought they were operating good territory, and
they had 1st and goal from the 3.
Yep, and then fumble.
Right. So Courtland up by 2 scores. 21-7. Back on offense from its own 2. .706 to play. 4th quarter action. Courtland back on offense. This is, of course, Liam Wojciechowski, the quarterback. Quick hitter. E.J. Rogers, and they may have gotten the safety.
No, they're going to give
Not
forward.
quite, but that was awfully close. And the man at the bottom of that pile, Steve, was number 7, Joshua Perez.
Yeah, they're
Look
going
how close this one is.
They gave him his forward progress.
Look at this ball, though. How many times we've been there tonight when it's just inches away from that goal line. So you say you lost a yard, and it brings up 2nd and 11.
Well, here now, let's see how Eastern View is going to cover this, because Coach Hall from Courtland is a cagey as a fox. If he sees there's nobody deep, so look for
a whistle.
yeah, timeout.
Let's see who's calling.
Timeout, Courtland.
All right, so Courtland calls a timeout. Well, our timeout sponsor this year is CFC Farm and Home Center. The service, knowledge, and products you need for your farm, home, pets, livestock, and equine since 1932. And of course, when we're live, our live sponsor is Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air at 718-7556. All right. We are approaching the midway mark of this 4th quarter, 6:18 specifically to play, 21-7 in favor of Courtland, and after this timeout, they'll have it 2nd and 11 from their 1-yard line.
Now, if Eastern View can come up with a good stick here or get a turnover here.
You could talk safety and then getting the ball back off the free kick.
Yep.
You'd be down 21-9 with probably good field position. Well, that won't be a safety because E.J. Rogers is breaking tackles. 30, 35, 40, breaks another tackle, near sideline. Now it'll be a foot race with E.J. Rogers going to win it. That's a 99-yard touchdown run, Steve. That's the sort of thing that a fellow by the name of Tony Dorsett did a few years ago.
It was. I don't see any longer.
Wow.
99-yard. He just was like he came out there like he shot out like a cannon, Mark.
Well, what did you say earlier in the game? You said it's just I'm looking for Rogers to break one, and we said it wasn't if, it was when. And that was when. And it comes with 6:02 to play in the 4th quarter. That's got to be the proverbial dagger to the heart.
It is, Mark. And did you see him pull away? I mean, Brett Clatterbaugh, give him some credit. He with a bang-up leg. He was trying his darndest to get there, and he didn't just quite make it. And a 99-yard run by Rogers. I'm impressed.
Wow. Think about it. It was they started on their own 2-yard line, and Rogers was almost tackled for his safety on 1st down. Point after is good. And the ball was marked. We called it the 1, but it was more like 4 inches from the goal line, right?
Yep.
And then on 2nd down, and 11 yards to go, Rogers galloped for 99 and a Courtland touchdown.
It was. I mean, he just flew out there. I mean, like, he came to that hole, but there was, I will say this with Eastern View, a lot of arm tackling in there, trying to pull him down with one arm, and you're not going to do that. The kid is strong, and he's fast, and he just proved it right there the way he came and hit that hole, Mark.
Yeah, they did a good job, the Eastern View's defense, of containing him in that first half. But it was just a matter of time. You can't keep a good guy down like that all game. He's going to break one. But you don't want it to be for You don't want it to be for 99 yards when you're still in contention. But now they take you right out of the game with that.
Yeah, but now it's over now. I mean, that was a dagger, like you said.
Well, if you were calling a professional game with 6:02 left and you were down 28-7 and you had a guy like, I don't know, John Elway, you might say, well, he might be who else is a miracle comeback kind of guy? A guy like Joe Montana?
Right.
Who else comes to mind?
Let me see. You got to look at, Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning was that way. All right. I wanted to say something earlier to you, Steve. Remember we talked about E.J. Rogers' stiff arm?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Would it be a nice name of a book, football book, titled "Of Stiff Arms and High Knees"? All right. So when I think of stiff arms, I think of a running back who was really tough with those. Who do you think of?
Well, Franco Harris was good with them.
Okay.
Dwayne Thomas, old Dallas Cowboy.
He played for both the Redskins and Cowboys.
Yep.
But you know who I was thinking of?
Who?
Walter Payton.
Yeah, he was good too.
Now, what about high knees?
Sayers.
Well, all right, Sayers. All right, how about someone more recently? Played for the 49ers.
Not, what, Jerry Rice? No.
No, he was a receiver. I'm about running back with high knees. You got knees every time you tackle him. Roger Craig.
Roger Craig.
Yeah. All right, now, so Eastern View goes back to this hurry-up style offense, and they hook up Hughesby to Brock, but will they be bringing it back? If so, that's been sort of a recurring theme, hasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Another
and they bring
legal
it back
shift.
for a legal shift.
See, I don't get this, Mark. The legal shift, they should, if they keep doing it, then the coaches should tell them something's, you're not running it right.
So they mark it back to the 28. It is 1st and 15, 5:40 to play. Fourth quarter action. Cougars 28, Cyclones 7. Jaden Hughesby, Deuce Washington back there with him. He's going to block. Here comes some pressure. Hughesby steps up, and they tackle him at the 25. It's a sack, a 3-yard loss on the play. E.J. Rogers, not E.J. Rogers, but make that Jay Crockett defensive end in the tackle. He lost 3. 2nd and 18. Clock continues to run. We're approaching the 5-minute mark. Courtland showing pressure. Here's Hughesby stepping up and throwing. Making a diving catch or incomplete was Trayvon Brock. All right, this broadcast brought to you in part by Found & Sons. More than a respected funeral home, they support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons at 825-3530. And Cash Imprints, from shirts to banners and everything in between. Imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints. 317-1473. All right. We've got 3rd down and 18 now for the Cyclones from the Cougars 25. Hughesby going to air it out. This one's going to be incomplete. And now 4th down, and I don't see anything the Cyclones can do but punt it.
Yeah, they're not going to try to go here on 4th down, give him another touchdown. So they're going to punt this ball away. But, Hughesby there, see, he's throwing into double coverage. And that's where he's got to look off that receiver, and maybe he looked over here to his left.
Well, the single safety back for Courtland is Kawame Whitaker. He's a junior. 5'9", 150. Jonathan Bales going to stand inside his 15-yard line. Here's a snap. Seems to be a good one. He kicks it from the 15. It's a high kick. This one won't be fielded or returned, rather. It's going to be down at the Eastern View 49-yard line, so that's a 34-yard kick. And Courtland, they're in the catbird seat, aren't they?
Yep.
As the expression goes, they're up by 21 points. They get the ball back with 4:34 to play and a short field to work with on the Eastern View side of midfield. All right. Well, this broadcast brought to you in part by Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. 547-3673. All right. Let's see. Liam Wojciechowski under center, handing off. And let's check the number. Is that E.J. Rogers?
Yep. Number
No,
Mateo.
it's Mateo. Amir Mateo, number 23. All right, so what's the play of the game? Is it the obvious one?
Obvious one, 99-yard run. Haven't seen many of those during our years of high school broadcasting. Running. We've seen kickoff returns, we've seen interceptions, but straight handoff on the 1-yard line, or really 1/2 line.
Let me ask you, Steve. Did Culpeper have one with Jermaine Kropp one year?
Yep.
Didn't he have a 99, or am I thinking of something?
98, I thought.
98? All right. That's been a long time.
That's 99.
Yeah. This is back to Mateo. Mateo fighting for yardage. He's down to about 38. That'll be enough for a Courtland first down, and the clock continues to run.
And I wanted to let you know, Mark, right now in the playoffs pairings, the ratings, Division 4B, you got Dinwiddie's at top. They're undefeated. They've got the most points. But you know who the second one is?
Dinwiddie number 1, and then number 2.
Verina.
Okay, so they dropped to 4.
Verina's dropped down to a 4. And they're going to be tough. And then Highland Springs is still a 5.
Okay. But some good news for our Class 4 teams as Mateo takes the handoff again and gets to the 35, 3 yards before he's pushed back. Is Lake Taylor's no longer Class 4. They go to 3.
They go to 3, but then they got to deal with Phoebus and Hopewell. So,
wow.
And Lafayette.
True.
And Culpeper's got to deal with them too. But let's enlighten our fans. Culpeper is going to the playoffs, whether they win or lose tonight. And they'll either play James Monroe at James Monroe, or if James Monroe loses and Culpeper would have to win, then they'd have host a first-round home game. So it's we got one team in the playoffs, and you never know. Look what Culpeper did a couple years ago with Coach Wakefield. You know, no one ever thought they were going to make the playoffs, and look what they did. They made it all the way to the –
Well, you know, the job is to get yourself there, and then, you know, you get a clean slate.
Yeah.
It's win or go home, and that's true for the team that's favored or the number 1 seed.
Yep.
I mean, you can't have any let up, and maybe, you know, you're playing some of your better ball at that time. Who's to say? But I think it's going to be a tough road to hoe, no doubt. But, again, you get back to anything can happen.
But the 4B, you know, get back to King George is like 3rd in the ratings, and number 4 is Patrick Henry of Ashland. And
Ken Wakefield's team.
They got 2 losses, but their 2 losses have been to Division 6 teams. So,
you know, I miss seeing some of our former coaches, and the ones that have stayed in it have done well. I mean, you think about, you mentioned Coach Wakefield.
Lou Sorrentino
at Mountain View.
Undefeated.
I mean, how good is Mountain View?
They're a good team. They're very good. They got a running back that's committed to Arizona State, and they got a good, smart quarterback. And, you know, they've got a good coach in Lou. And they're doing it balanced, like he always has. They got a good run game along with a good passing game.
Balance, yeah. Well, this one doesn't go for much. You've got a new running back in there. It's Christian Olivella getting a carry. The line of scrimmage was the 40. And he got to the 36, giving 4 yards. Well, this broadcast is brought to you in part by Copperfish and Time Market. From wood-fired pizza to the freshest seafood and a world of taste in between. You'll find it all at Copperfish and Time Market. All right, clock running, minute 25 to go. Ball at the 36. And they go back to Mateo. He's at the 30 and tries to hurdle a defender down to about the 25. You got to be careful with that sort of thing, though, don't you?
Well, they call it now because you can't really supposed to do that. They'll call it because it's a dangerous play. And it's designed, you know, to protect the running back and as well as the tackler. And it should have been a flag on that one, but officials didn't award it.
Instead, it's a first down for Courtland, new set of downs. And the clock runs a minute 10 and counting. Here late in the fourth quarter, 28-7 Courtland. This is a game, Steve, that could have been possibly different for Eastern View were it not for all the penalties and mistakes.
Yep, now they're just going to kneel down here. Look how
Wojciechowski.
He's waiting for the clock.
Uses the clock, takes a knee. Maybe he'll do that once more.
And you know, Mark, what I was going to say is, you know, Eastern View's still not done. They got a game we'll be doing at home against the Millbrook Pioneers. They're out of Winchester. And I think Eastern View's just got to play for pride, and hopefully they can bring it back and, you know, and come back and win. The Pioneers aren't very good. They're I think they've only won one game, I believe.
And where are they classified?
They are Class 4, 4C.
Okay.
Region C. 4C.
Wojciechowski, the Courtland quarterback, take one more knee to end this one tonight. As the final 5 seconds tick off the scoreboard clock. And now it's official. It's in the books. Our final score, Cougars 28, Cyclones 7. And so, Steve, the Cyclones fall to 4-5 on the year. And they'll finish up the regular season, as you pointed out, next week at home against Millbrook. And, well, we've talked about it throughout the game. Penalties and mistakes, it sounds cliche, but you look at all the plays that it looked like Eastern View had something going, and they used another cliche, they shot themselves in the foot.
They did. I mean, Mark, penalties and turnovers. This is the name of the story for Eastern View, and it's very uncharacteristic of an Eastern View football team. But this year, this squad's had some growing pains with a new coach and new players, and like I said, just got to regroup and hopefully come back next week strong against Millbrook and finish on a winning note.
All right, I was happy to call the game with you tonight. It was a rare edition of Thursday Night Football, and we were competing with Thursday Night Football.
That's right.
You did such a great job. Why don't you take tomorrow off?
Why don't you do so?
I think I will.
Johnny.
All right. Well, that'll do it for us tonight from Courtland High School. Final score, Cougars 28, Cyclones 7 for Johnny Krawchuk and Steve Peacock. I'm Mark O'Connell saying thanks for watching and supporting Cyclones football here on the Culpeper Media Network. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you next Friday from Cyclone Stadium as the Cyclones take on the visiting Pioneers of Millbrook. So long, everybody.
Yep.